So in today's class, what we are going to see is we are going to see about the SQL joins. Okay, before that, let me open my SQL workbench. Okay. Let it open. So you know that, right? In database, in a single database, we can have more than one table, right? So somewhat we will be joining the tables using the primary key and foreign key. Even if we don't join the two tables, we can have the multiple tables in our database. Okay. So in case if you want to fetch data from one table and the another table at the same time by applying some conditions to the table. Okay. For example, I'm having an employee. Okay. I'm having an employee in a database, employee table in a database, and I'm having a department table in a database. I want to find out which employee works in which department. So what I can do is I can find out the department name using the department ID. Okay. So what I can do is I can combine these two tables. I can join these two tables and then I can apply some condition to that so that our database can fetch data from one table and the another table at the same time. Okay. So if you want to work with multiple tables at the same time, you can use the joins there. So there are multiple joins, multiple types of joins. First one is inner join. Okay. What it will do is it will match the records from one table to another table, and then it will retrieve only the matching records. And then we have left join, right join, full outer join or full join, cross join, natural join, and self join. Okay, let's see how our joins work. Now let me open this. So do you remember how to create a database? Can you tell me the query? You can even search the net. Okay, fine. So tell me how to view all the databases we have in our system. Which query we have to use?
Select star.
No, I want to view the databases which I have saved in my system. Which query should I use? I can use show databases. Okay, I can use show databases. Then I can press execute this query. Then it will show me all the databases. Okay, here I have already created a database called employee. I'm going to use the database. So if you want to work on a certain database, which query we have to use? Any ideas? Okay,
No,
fine. So we have to use the keyword use, and then we have to use the database name. So when we use this command, what it will do is it will take you into the databases. Okay, so use employee, and then I'm running this query. So it query has been successfully executed. Okay, Now, if you want to know what are the tables that is stored in that certain database, you have to use the query show tables and then run this query. So here you can see that in my employee table, I am having department, employer, manager, project. Okay, I'm having these 4 tables. It's actually I have taken this table example from a YouTuber called Taufik. The YouTube name is TechFig. Okay, so from there I have taken this example. So if you want to refer that, you can even refer that also. Okay, now I'm having department, employer, manager, project. So let us view what are the contents in our all the tables. First, select start from employer. So here in my employer table, I'm having employee ID, employee name, department ID, project ID, and manager ID. Okay, so these are the things I'm having in my employee table. So it says that employee ID belongs to employee name and which department he is going to work or is currently working. Okay, and the project he is working on and the manager on whom he is working. Okay, so these are the contents I'm having in the employee table. Then, what is the another table? That one is department table. Okay, so let's see what we have in our department table. Select start from department. So in department table, I'm having 4 values, 4 departments I'm having D1, D2, D3, D4. Okay, and departments are data analyst, software tester, HR, system admin. Okay, so these are the departments I'm having in my database. Then we have the manager table. So select start from manager. So now let's run this. So in manager table, I'm having the ID for the manager and the manager name. And then we are having the table called the project. Select start from project. So here I'm having the ID of the project, project name, and then team working on it, which means whether the employee is working on the project or the manager who is working on the project, their ID has been mentioned here. Okay, so now we are going to work on the inner join. Okay, we are going to work on the inner join. So what your join will do is, here I want to select the employee name and department name. Okay, so let's run this. So here employee name is there, and from department table I want to fetch the department name to find out which employee works on which department. Okay, so how can we do that? To fetch the values, we have to use the query select. Am I right? To fetch the values, we have to use the query select. Okay, and then what do we need? We need a from employee table, which column we need? Employee name. Okay, then we can select that column, employee name, and then from which table? From the table employer. Okay, from the table employer. So we need employee name from table employer. And then what do we need? From department table, what do we need? Department name. Okay, then add comma, department name. Okay, I missed the underscore. So to from which table? From department table. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the alias for nickname for my table. Okay. For employee table, E. Okay. And department table, D. Okay. So what I can do is if I'm going to fetch the data from two different tables, I can use the alias in front of the column name so that it will be easy for the SQL to fetch that. Okay. I'm not audible. Is it so, Spandana?
Not you, ma'am. Zaina, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So we are going to use the nickname here, E dot employee name and D dot department name. Okay, so I want to join this two table. So I'm going to use the keyword inner join. Okay, I'm going to use the keyword inner join. What it will do is it will join the two tables. Okay, and on what basis I'm going to join, which means that we have to provide the condition. There should be something that is there should be something that is common in both the tables, right? So in employee table, we are having the department ID, and in department table, also we are having the department ID. Okay, so just check this out. Okay, it doesn't mean that the column name should be same. The column name can be different, but the values inside the column should be same. Okay, here D3, D2, D2, D4, and in department table also we are having D1, D1, D3, D4. Okay, so they should be same. The column name can be different for different tables. Okay, so you have to use the keyword on and E dot department ID equal to D dot department ID. Then end it with semicolon. So what it will do, it will select the employee name from the employee table and department name from the department table by using the inner join, and then on which condition. So you have to use the keyword on and you have to provide the condition and like which two columns are common in the table. So according to that, it will fetch the data there. Okay, are you able to understand this? Do you have any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so let me run this code. So when I run this code, you'll be able to see the employee name under the department name. So 1 minute. Okay, so here we are having 5 employees who are working in the department. Rahul working in HR department, Ravi, Ram working in software tester, David working in system admin, Sai working in HR. Okay, so now you can see in employer table. Okay, so let me run this. Okay, let it run. So in employee table, we are having 7 entries, right? But when we run this query, the inner join query, it has fetched only the 5. Okay. And suppose, okay, if you want all the employees' name, okay, whoever, even if he's not working in the department, you want the employee name, what you can do is you can use the left join. Okay, so what a left join will do is, it is like that. Wait 1 minute, let me run this. So what a left join will do is, it will take all the values from the left side of the table. If I have given the department table here in the left side, it will fetch all the department. Okay, here I have given the employee table to the left side of the join query. So what it will do is it will fetch all the employees' name and the department name should be equal to this. So the Raj and Arun doesn't work in the department which belongs to the department table. So it shows null here. So let me see the ID of the Raj and Arun. So Raj and Arun working in D10 and D9. These two departments are not in our department table. So it shows the null value here. Okay. So if you want, if you want to fetch all the department but not the employee's name, you can use the right join. So what it will do is data analyst. So in department, data analyst is D1. So in employee table, we don't have any person working in data analyst department. Okay, so when I work on this thing, so it fetches all the department. So if there is no person present in some departments, it will show you none. Are you able to understand all these three? Inner join, left and right?
Yes, ma'am. Got it.
Okay. So your inner join will only provide the common entities, like it is like an intersection. Okay, so you might have studied about the set operations, right? Union, intersection. You might have studied, right? Okay.
Yes,
So what your inner join will do is it will do the intersection operation on the two table. It will only fetch the common data that is present in both the tables. Okay. So what your left join will do is it will perform the operation of set difference A minus B. Okay, it will fetch all the data of A. Okay, so likewise your joins will work. Your right join will be like B minus A. Okay, are you able to understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
So now we are going to see about the, so you can even use inner join or else you can simply use join. Okay, so next we are going to see about the full outer join or full join. So inner join will present matching records from both the tables. What your left join will do is inner join plus additional records in the left table. Okay, it has fetched all the name from the employee table. So right join, inner join plus additional records in the right side table. Okay, what a full join will do is it will perform the operation of inner join plus left join plus right join, which means it will fetch all the data from both the tables. And if someone is present, if someone is not present in a certain department, it will show you null. Okay, so you can use full join or full outer join. So full join. Okay, why is it showing error here? Okay, full is not valid at this position, expecting quotation. There is quotation somewhere. Okay. Okay, let me use simply outer join, then see what is happening. Can you find any error here? Did I miss something on here?
I think we have to give for full.
Full name. Okay. So let me try to remove this. It's not. full outer join. Shows error now also. Okay, fine. Let me check it. So till that, can you write the query for in a chat box? Write the query to from the employee table. If I want to drop the project ID, what I can do? Write the query for that. Let me check where I made the mistakes here. The query is correct. Expecting semicolon. Okay, fine. Let me check it and tell you in the next class. Okay, so let's move on to the another join here. That one is cross join. Okay, so what your cross join will do is it will do the cross multiplication of each data. Okay, so it will do the cross multiplication. Like in your, like I'm having some list of data here, like employee name, employee ID. Okay, so what it will do is it will multiply the data, which means it will fetch each record with the all the columns of the another table. Okay, so for cross join, you don't need the keyword on, you don't need this condition there for cross join. Okay, so cross join department D. So in here in our employer table, we are having all this. Okay, employer ID, employee name, department ID, project ID, manager ID. So for each of this row, it will apply the all the department. So let me write this, run this query. So here you can see for Rahul, it applies all the 4 departments, and for Ravi, it applies all the 4 departments. Okay, so if you want to apply the data to all of the columns, you can use the cross join. For example, if I'm having address, I can create table address ID int, comma, city, varchar 20. Okay. So now what I can do is I can insert one, insert into address. So address ID, not one, comma city, Bangalore, in quotation. Okay, so just take it as a, okay, I missed a keyword, values. Okay, this is the address of that company. Okay, now control enter. So now I want to add that address to all the employees table. Okay, so cross join, I can add address. Okay, here you can simply use star. Okay, now let me run this query. Okay, now you can see it added the values, address ID and city to all the employees. Okay, so for that you can use the cross join. Are you able to understand this? Any doubts till now?
Ma'am, cross join once again.
Okay, what your cross join will do is, I'm having one table here, employee table. I want to apply some value, some data of another table to all the rows. At the time, I can use the cross join. So here I'm having employees. So you can see I'm having project ID, manager ID. So what I want is, I want to add the address to all the employees. Okay, then I can use the cross join. Most probably you will be using inner join or full join like that. So in some cases, okay, you'll be using this natural join, cross join, and self join. Okay, so what is happening here is, for employee table, I'm having 7 employees. So what it will do is, it will add the data of address table to all the 7 employees. So if I want to add the department, content of all the department to all the employees, what will happen is, you can see we are having 4 departments. It added all the 4 departments to E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, E6, E7. Okay, this is called cross join. Whatever data is, it will apply all the data to the all the rows of the certain table. Okay, so here if I have department here, and employee here, table employee.employee doesn't exist. Let me take this E, select stop from employee, department, cross join employee. Okay, so the table name is employer. Okay, so here you can see I'm having 4 departments. So all the 4 departments, we have added the column E1 and then E2. So we have added all the 7 rows to the all the 4 rows of the department. Are you able to understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So next we are moving on to the cross join. Sorry, natural join. So what in natural join, what happens is that for inner join, we will be providing some condition, some on class, right? For natural join, we will not provide that on class. So what will happen is, your SQL itself will find the common data from both the tables and apply the natural join there. Okay, so mostly we will not use the natural join, just because your SQL will find the common values. Okay, so sometimes you may remove that common values. Sometimes you will change the so in employer table, I'm having department ID. So in department table, I'm having department ID. So inner join, what we will do is we will use the on class, and then we will provide which column they need to compare to find the data, right? So, but in natural join, what will do happen is your SQL itself will try to find the two common things between the two tables. So at the time, instead of department ID, if I have changed the column name, okay, at that time your natural join cannot be performed. Okay, so let me show you. So employee name, EMP underscore name, A dot EMP underscore name, comma, D dot department underscore name from employee E, then natural join of department D. Okay, so now I'm running this query. Okay, employer. Okay, now I am running this query. So it fetches the data which is common. So you can see that your inner join and natural join both fetches the same kind of data. Okay, now I want to change the name of the department. So department ID is there, right? So I want to change this name. Which query I can use here? Which query I can use to change the name of the column? I can use the alter query here. Okay,
Alter.
very good. So alter table department rename column. Okay, department ID, and then how to rename it? Is there any keyword? Any ideas how to rename it? You have to use the keyword to. Okay, so to, what I'm going to change that is change that into D underscore ID. Okay, end it with semicolon. Now run this query. So now when I view the department table, you can see that your department name has been changed. Now let's try to perform your natural join here. So here you can see what your natural join performs is it could not find the common department columns. Okay, so I have changed the department ID, right? The column name I have changed, so it could not find the common column name. So what it does is it does the cross join here. If your natural join could not find the common columns name, if you perform the natural join, it will turns into a cross join. Okay, so but in case of inner join, what will happen is, so in inner join, I can give the conditions here, right? On E dot department ID equal to D dot D underscore ID. Okay, so I can perform this thing. I can perform this operation on class. I have provided. I am telling the SQL to check these two columns. Even if the name varies, we can you can check these two columns to find the common values and then perform the data. So you can see, even though we have changed the column name, your inner join works. Okay. So that is why when performing joins, we will prefer inner join over natural join. Are you able to understand this? Do you have any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So, okay, so cross join is used to add same properties to all the columns. Yes, Zaira. Select project ID from employer. Full outer join. Full. So for full outer join only, it's showing error. Why does it? Okay, I will check that and let you know tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow we will discuss about the full outer join. I'll let you know tomorrow. And self join also, I'll let you know. Okay. So other than this, we will be discussing about views, stored procedures, hosting. Okay. Yeah. These other things will be discussing on tomorrow. Okay. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. I will download the SQL software.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that's it for today.